Strasburg got roughed up on Saturday night, but then they bounced back. Huge win yesterday on Father's Day, 15-5. So they get that split with Arizona. Braves and Phillies next. That's where they actually could make a move in the division, particularly if they go out and get a sweep against one of those teams.
That'd be huge. Be huge.
But
Don't know.
wonder,
Give me
though,
the pitching matchups and how we line up.
I think it's
You don't have it in front of you?
I believe it's Corbin tonight. Could be wrong. Fetty's got to be coming up soon, and then you'll get Max again. And look, Sanchez has been pitching well. Look, you can get all of them in the next 7 games.
The guy that we got to worry about is Corbin, right? Who's had 3 really rough outings.
Yes.
Last 3 go-arounds. Yeah, so we've got, you said it's Sanchez first.
No, Sanchez just
Sanchez for, he just pitched. Okay, then we have Corbin. Do I have this right?
Corbin versus Arrieta tonight.
It's Corbin, then Fetty, then Scherzer, then Strauss.
Yeah.
Against Arrieta. How's Arrieta been doing? By the way, what is Bryce? We need a Bryce update too, Kate.
Well, that's not good.
Can we get it? That's great.
He is not putting up big numbers in Philadelphia. I know that.
250. He's got a bunch of RBI. I think he's in the low teens in home runs.
All right, let's go one at a time here. Arrieta, 3 ERA, so very sort of pedestrian. And then who did we say? Bryce. What is Bryce doing, Cakes? You got to have that in front of you, right?
I'll have to pull up his numbers here.
I love that he's not just going over there and just on fire. He's just streaky. It's like how he always is. Shouldn't be surprised. Let me see. Bryce Harper, we got him at 247, 12 bombs, 49 RBI. Right.
So not quite to the team.
71 games. So 140. So, yeah, I guess he's on pace for over 100 RBI. So he's really on pace for what, about 20, 26, 27 homers? 105 RBI, maybe something like that.
Definitely not spectacular.
That's a pretty darn average year.
Especially when you look at some of these guys who have 23, 24 home runs already. Right. He's way back.
And that ballpark is supposed to be, tailor-made for his skill set.
Now, we kind of had the wrong read his first game here. We thought that there would maybe not be like a standing ovation, but the boos wouldn't cascade the first time he stepped to the plate, and they did. What's it going to be like now? Are people over it, or is it still going to be a lot of booing?
I think he's going to get booed.
I think people are still jealous.
He's going to get booed aplenty.
And angry. Yeah, I think he's still going to get booed.
I don't think it's going to be as vicious as the first go-around, but he'll get booed.
I think he'll get booed here for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to work.
For the 10 years from now, people are still be booing him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, it won't be a stadium full of booing, but there'll be random boos.
Dissipates.
I don't know. People are pretty...
I remember when
people feel pretty jilted around here.
First went back to Cleveland when he was with Miami. He was a villain to a lot of people, but particularly when he went back to Cleveland when he first left them.
I think the fact that he's still going to be with the Phillies because he has a no trade clause. I think he's just going to get booed every time.
We should be cheering him. The guy's only hitting 240.
Right, exactly.
We should be excited when he's up at the plate.
He's not batting like 320.
You don't want to
batting in the 240s.
You don't want to face some of these other guys that are playing pretty well. JT Real. If you look at WAR, he's like 8th or 9th on his team in wins above replacement on his own team. He's got a slightly better WAR than like Sean Rodriguez.
You think that the Phillies owner is happy? He outlaid all that cash for Bryce Harper, and this is in year one.
I can't even remember
the first.
What is he getting? 325 or something? I can't even remember what it is.
It's like 325 or 330. Like this year and into the first 5 years, these are supposed to be the peak years.
Right.
He's not gonna be putting up better numbers in years 6 through 13. You wouldn't think.
They haven't had the All-Star game, right?
I think people are already over it. I don't know.
He's not going to be an All-Star.
I don't know why.
He shouldn't be an All-Star.
I haven't looked at the voting because that thing sometimes is just straight up popular.
Is the voting online?
Yes.
Gravy, can you look up? By the way, also open up the lines. If people want to chime in here before we go to break, what are you going to do when Bryce comes to plate?
Yeah, do you still see Bryce Harper as a villain? First go-around, he was a villain.
Of course. I don't think it's going to change much. I don't think it'll be as vociferous, but I think people are going to boo him every time he comes up. There'll be a certain percentage, I don't know, 10%, 15, 20% of fans that are at the games. They're going to boo. I'm not a boo.
first plate appearance.
That's what I thought.
Didn't happen.
I thought tip your cap to him first plate appearance, then boo his ass is all you want.
But I think now, I don't know. It's a guess. I just don't see cascading boos, a rain of boos. Sure, there can be a couple donks, a couple people like cakes who don't mind going boo.
Oh,
But I
it'll be
don't
more
think
than a couple. You think it's just going to be a few?
Oh, no,
You think
no.
it's going to be a random smattering?
I
No,
don't
it's
think
gonna be more than that.
I don't
be more
think
than
it's
that.
going to be a chorus of boos. What is it? I could be wrong.
Well, especially because he's not even doing that much.
There's
If
going to
he
be
was on fire,
There's going to be booing.
if he was hitting 330 with 20 bombs and
Yeah.
7, oh, it would be on
There'll be
fire.
booing, jeering, and joning.
Okay.
All three of them combined because he's not playing
See,
well.
When it got down to it, I thought, and I might have even kind of changed my opinion, but when it came down to it, as the season was starting, I thought they would miss him in the lineup. But the way he's performed and the way the Nats have performed offensively, that hasn't been the issue.
Yeah.
This for the Nats, which has been better of late, has been the bullpen and the fourth and fifth starters.
Yep.
So if they had
Which are things you knew going in.
if they had a Max Scherzer spurn them and leave for another team, they would really miss that.
Well, hold on. Scherzer wouldn't be spurning them. He would be traded. Scherzer wouldn't be leading
No,
of his
I'm
own
just saying
volition.
hypothetically, if he had been in Bryce Harper's role, then we'd be like, man, we really missed that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what about this whole thing?
when Bryce Harper's hitting 247 with 12 home runs, do you really miss him?
Drabby, what is this you have in here about Rosenthal writing about what it would take for Scherzer to be moved?
But yeah, well, he doesn't break down any prospects or anything like that, but he's starting to look at, all right, well, if the Nats are out of contention, would Rizzo really do this with Max? That's his baby.
I don't believe it.
From Arizona.
I don't believe
all the
he
way-
would.
It's
No
a
way.
hypothetical argument.
I know, but do you believe he would? Hypothetically, give me a
Well,
scenario where he would. It'd
I-
have to be such a haul.
I really wouldn't because I don't think it's possible.
It'd
really.
have to be like an Anthony Davis-like haul.
Yeah, and I talked to Ken last night, asked him to come on, and he said that, hey, look, when I write these articles like that, I like it for just kind of speak for itself. I don't want to add more to it. I'm just kind of hypothetical. Like, if this goes down this path, this is where the Nationals could be going. I'm not saying the Nats are going to trade Rosenthal. They're looking to.
He
But
pointed out
You mean
the
Scherzer.
Orioles dealt Machado
Scherzer,
last year, and they dealt Machado for 5 minor leaguers. And so the thought is that the Nationals, if they are out of contention and start thinking about the future, could get a similar minor prospects and maybe some cash, which none of us know if the Nationals want that, what the deal is. I told you, man, if they're down 5,000-6,000 people per game in attendance, I don't know what it costs per game, but we're at the end of it could be costing a team millions if attendance is down that much. Millions, because it's not just the attendance and the concessions and everything on the game. It's the ad buys.
Well, you know what else is going to hurt attendance? If you deal Scherzer or Rendon before the deadline. But I understand it if you know you're not going to re-sign
I almost think
Rendon down the line.
I almost think it's a given they're going to move Rendon. I really do. Scherzer, that's not. We're just looking for clicks.
Somebody told us via Twitter, and maybe we should do it, that we should. My response was we're going to get the same answer every week, but told us that we should ask Rizzo every Wednesday when he comes to the show at 9, front and center, what's going on with Anthony Rendon.
Okay.
The problem
do
is
that.
he's just going to spin it
You're
every
going to say
week.
the same thing. We
Right.
can even tell him we're going to ask you every week between now
Until-
and whenever.
right.
So he'll be
Till the
prepped.
deadline.
He'll be prepped exactly on
Yeah.
how to answer it every single
Yeah.
week.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll give us something good at some point.